Episode 12 of Deep Space Nine. It's been a little bit of time in real time for us since we've watched the show.
Yes, my beard is gone, my hair is short, and I've come to almost forget the Alpha and the Negus, yeah. And TNG has just been, we're not out yet. They're just coming out swinging with banger after banger. At Deep Space Nine, I know you're only in your season 1 years, but you've had some good ones. Just bring back the Chief. Have him in the entire episode. I heard call him in his contract, or someone in our comments said he had in his contract to go film movies and stuff while also doing the show. And I got to respect the hustle. But I don't care. I want you back in this show.
100%. And it's nice to have TNG and this show going at the same time. It's been enjoyable. I'm ready to get jumping back in. We are just about a little over halfway. There's only 20 episodes in this first season for Deep Space Nine, so a little over halfway.
The usual, Odo?
Nothing.
The usual.
The new arrival. The one the Klingons brought back from the Gamma Quadrant.
Croydon. He's harmless.
What Klingons?
Man comes in for a drink. He wants to talk.
He didn't seem to want to talk much to Cisco when he arrived.
Who would?
Thank you very much.
I believe a pair of twinned Miradorn just nodded your way.
Obviously, they want to use a holosuite.
I'm not doing any business with these people. Give me some drinks so I can have it with those people.
It's nice to see Odo and Quark.
Yeah, I think their relationship is one of my favorite parts of this show. I just wonder if we're ever going to do an Odo developments episode like we've had with Dax.
Just stay where you are.
Guy looks goofy as hell.
No one is going to get hurt. Just give me that. It wouldn't be the first and probably...
Oh!
Hey, Kobe!
Oh!
Oh, no way!
God damn it. I didn't know it could be a thing that small. Holy shit.
Or how would shattering affect him? I guess it doesn't. That was definitely one of the better ones so far.
My brother.
Ooh.
There we go, dude. Odo's like the opposite of Worf.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Too OP.
We're not just twin brothers. Together, we are a single self.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
You should have considered the risks before trying to sell stolen property.
You have no proof. My only purpose in life from here on is to see him dead.
Man. What will your purpose be after that?
It's curious that Croydon had a Ferengi phaser.
How dare you suggest that my brother set up this robbery?
What an interesting theory, Rom.
I've never heard of a changeling with such versatility.
A what?
A changeling like you. Feed me. I'll tell you where I met someone just like you.
Ooh, okay.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either, but interesting we're getting this, into his backstory already. I like it.
Why, Morn here says you even bought the fellow a meal.
Won't you keep his big mouth shut?
He never talks.
You attribute odious motives to my every charitable act.
That's because your favorite charity is your own pocket.
Ooh.
If you don't keep your voice down...
What did Croydon tell you about himself? Did he say anything about his home world?
No.
I like the lighting in that scene.
Oh, yeah.
Get back to your ship and stay there. If I find you here again, I'll lock you up too.
Damn.
No games.
There were shapeshifters on Rakar at one time, but that was centuries ago. They were persecuted.
Should have shifted into the persecutor.
But I know a place where there are still some left. Of course, that was a few years ago. From the colony of the changelings.
Very fortunate that he had that around his neck.
Yeah, he just happened to be wearing that here.
One of your people committed a homicide, and we have him in custody. His name is Croden.
Are they in the roundabout?
Croden is an enemy of the Ricari people. We request that he be returned immediately.
He's scheduled to be tried for his crime on our station.
Return him. And I can assure you, his punishment will be appropriate to your crime as well as ours.
Gotta respect these people. Like, I have no interest in you people.
Yeah.
I don't care what's on the other side of the wormhole.
Like while humans and everything in the Federation are like, oh, go explore, go find people, and the species are always like, leave us alone.
In a way, this stone might qualify as a distant cousin of yours.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the only one who can tell me is less reliable than Quark. Others must know where it is.
No, the Vortex is uncharted, but as a thief and a killer and who knows what, I hid there often.
Who knows what?
And I know my way back.
I don't know.
I still don't believe that he has any idea where changelings are.
If they do come after you, a warning from us will just point an arrow to you.
Understood.
So this is the exact situation I want. Perfect.
Do you think Odo has to sleep at all?
They said he has to like rest in his, in his actual form for a bit to like
Oh, they did? Okay.
recharge. Yeah. The amount of hours, I'm not sure. But yeah, like holding this form is
78.
Oh, God.
Ooh, that looks pretty good.
Miradorn ship is scanning the freighter. Doesn't look like they're reading the runabout.
But he was looking out the window and clearly saw it.
All right, there they go.
But what if two ships entering at the same time had like the fly effects were combined?
Are you happy? Being what you are, you can pour your square shape into a round hole, but you don't really fit, do you?
Ooh.
They broke into my home just before dawn, and before I had time to stop them, they had murdered both my wives.
Ooh. Bro pulled two wives looking like this?
You better be telling me the truth, or I'll be back. Finish this.
I think Rom is just a coward.
Fitting.
Pursuing vessel approaching from 181, Mark 12.
Put it on the monitor and identify.
I thought someone else was a computer in Deep Space Nine. I guess Major Layer for this one?
Yeah, so the space station is Cardassian, so it's a different computer.
But the ship,
this is a
okay.
runabout
Okay.
Federation,
That makes sense.
which I appreciate that they, went out of the way to keep her in.
Little effort. I appreciate it.
Remember what Cisco said about can outrun him, so he's pretty cooked.
Drop your suspicious nature for a minute, Changeling. Can't you see it's our only chance?
Remember, I can kick your ass at any moment if you try anything. It's funny how before this I was talking about an Odo origin episode and sort of getting it maybe.
Oh, look at that. Here we go.
Oh.
Stay where I can see you.
This is like one of our first off-world sequences here.
How much of it was true? Any of it? Any of it?
No. We tell stories about changelings. I thought they were myths.
The stone.
I have no idea where it came from.
Well, damn.
What is it?
A stasis chamber.
It's my daughter.
Oh, Jesus.
So his wives are murdered, but he was able to get his daughter into this chamber.
It shapes itself to fit the lock.
Ah.
Father?
Was she asleep the whole time, like a cryo sleep? Is that gimmick?
Probably, yeah.
Their sensors must have picked up our life signs.
Oh, man, get out of there! Oh.
What's the matter, Father?
I'm a piece of shit.
Nothing, darling.
Hey, there we go.
Oh.
Nice.
Go, go.
That was good. Yeah, a little hesitancy, and then he.
Yeah. I thought for sure he was going, yeah.
You could have left me behind.
Don't thank me. I already regret it.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
nice. Yeah, that's nice.
There will barely be a trace of your little vessel when we are finished with you.
Damn. Wait, what even happened?
I think him firing caused him to, because they're in that volatile area, just even shooting, just right off the beat, like right out of the gun, just
Blew him up?
I think.
Damn.
Incoming subspace signal. Vulcan band frequency.
Vulcan?
Starfleet runabout.
Hey!
Vulcan science vessel Travan.
I've beamed over 2 survivors from a ship that wasn't so lucky.
Oh!
We will rendezvous with you shortly. Prepare for transport.
Damn.
Don't thank me, I already regret it.
Are you really a changeling?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Oh.
We don't want to keep the Vulcans waiting. Energizing. Computer, set a course for the wormhole.
Course laid in.
Home. Where is it? Someday we'll know. Cousin. Engage.
Good stuff, man.
That was good stuff, yeah.
Good stuff. We just watched Vortex, and now we're going to talk about it. But first, we're going to start with our whiteboard reactions. And for me, I put boring but great ending.
I put Odo, yay. Everything else, okay.
If you're going to have just one part of your episode be really good, it's probably good to have the ending be really good.
And on a good note.
Yeah, which it did. That was my favorite Odo scene thus far. In the runabout, and the guy saving his life, and then him giving it back to him with a favor with him and his daughter. How about the Vulcans coming in to save the day?
Yeah, nice little cameo from the Vulcans. Always nice to see them. Just like the stupid fan service brain of me. I was like, oh yeah, let me ask my superior officer, and then Spock just for no fucking reason,
Just on a screen.
Yeah, just steps in next door. What is this? Yeah, no, this was. It felt very flat leading up to it. Everyone else on the ship is really not much else to do. I like the Elvis species. I thought it was interesting. Interesting idea for a character trait. Oh, they're twins. If one of them dies, they suffer from that. And I'd like to see that explored a little bit more, but really he just became angry. And then it was just a guy just trying to get revenge, and wasn't really all that interesting. I like Quark's whole setup about paying this guy to, rob these people to get this egg. Yeah, nice little Quark little thing. But other than that, all of that was just, okay, leading up to that great ending where I started to feel a little bit, little Dwayne Johnson rock goosebumps moment, but everything else, you're looking at me like, what do you have to say? There's nothing else to say here.
I 100% agree with you on the twin species aspect. In my opinion, if we never see this again, big waste of potential, because that is a very interesting idea. Twins in real life, humans, there's, stuff about how they're connected, one hurts their leg, the other feels it, etc. I don't know how true any of that is. I don't know any twins, but I do find that very fascinating, all for it to just be this very small part of the episode that doesn't really end up mattering, and is more just a setup for our main guest character, which is fine, but I am very interested by that type of species, and we don't really get to see anything of it. He just says it. If you took out that line that he says about them being one, they would just be twins. Like, we saw no impact of that, so that's disappointing. A lot of these episodes aren't bad, and like when people were warning us about this first season and about the show finding its footing and all that, I expected, oh, okay, so the episodes will be bad, and that, at least so far, not a ton of them have been. They're just boring. a lot of the time. And it's like unfortunate. There's been episodes that are not boring that we've really loved, but like I just find myself watching this like, yeah, I'm interested in these characters, but I don't know. Maybe this will be a hot take, but I just feel like it's too much Quark. Like it leans so heavy on Quark. Like the whole rest of our cast here do basically nothing. And that's fine in the sense that it's an Odo episode. I'm cool with that, to focus on Odo. But Quark gets a lot of screen time too after we just came off of Negus. And like, they must really like him. And you know, like, the actor's good, the character, I get it. But it's like, I want to know more about these other characters. And it's just all Quark.
Yeah, it's kind of a disservice to everyone else that's there. I mean, literally everyone else is just in the ops room, besides Bashir checking on the dead Myriad or whatever he was called. There's other stories to tell. You don't have to use. I mean, I get it. Quark is the one with the personality. I mean, Bashir's got some, and I get it. Quark is the big. He's great. He loves the camera. He's very eccentric. People probably love to work with him, but let's write some stories for the other ones here. Yeah, but I like Quark. So I'm not too upset with it, but
And like, I'll give it a pass for this episode because it is an Odo episode, and
Yeah.
that is who gets the focus. But just in general, I'm just like getting this Quark fatigue 12 episodes in, where it's like, can we have a Bashir episode, or can we have, you know, this was an Odo episode, so I give it a pass, and they have a very specific relationship, Odo and Quark.
well, they tried a Bashir episode.
True, yeah, that's true.
He did get a nice story on TNG though. No one else got that.
Yeah, very fair.
But I'm talking about Kira or Cisco even.
Yeah, Kira, Cisco, Dax. I mean,
Chief.
even Jake. Damn, I mean, it's like, interesting.
Yeah, he got a little story. Was it Nagus or the other episode where he's teaching him how to read?
I forget. It was
Anyway,
one of them.
Yeah. But in terms of like the episode feeling boring and flat, we talked about stuff similar, but I think I would rather. No, don't burn me to the cross here, or nail me to whatever it's called.
Burn you to the cross.
Burn me to the cross.
Weld you to the cross.
I think just in terms of a reaction standpoint than just putting out something worth watching, I'd rather have a, you know, because us losing our minds watching them shimmy the cliff is a lot better and more enjoyable to me than the first half of this episode.
Yeah, I think that in the back of my mind too when we're watching something that's just so clearly a contract filler that's like not bad enough to be you know, disturbed by, and it's just I'm sitting there thinking like, is this even worth releasing? And it's like, if you're watching this, then we did release it, but it's just kind of like, that's not my first thought. Like, my first thought is to wanting to enjoy the show.
Yeah.
But it is there too of like, you know, that's unfortunate, and that's something that like Star Trek so far has been so good with, like the varying quality of the episodes, that there are some that are just boring, but for the most part they're either, you know, pretty good or not. And Deep Space Nine thus far, it's not even serialized really yet, but thus far it's been a lot of just like, I feel like I'm just sitting there watching a TV show, and you know, I'm not gonna force, like, we're not the type of reactors that are gonna be like, ooh, you know, so it's like, it's tough when you're just sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. But anyway,
he'll get there.
a detail of this episode I did like is how Odo pretty much stuck to his guns the entire time. This guy's in his ear the entire episode, and we know he's bullshitting. And Odo doesn't fold for 1 second. He only lets him drive because Odo's not a pilot. This guy is. And they just so happenstance to, you know, get in this field where this guy's run from his people in the past, and it all leads very smartly written, I think, to where his daughter is and where the changeling people are. Like, Odo didn't fold until the last second, where it's like, 2 more to transport. And because that character had a nice moment where we talked about it while reacting to it, but he's like, we're leaving. No, we're not. We're leaving.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Yeah, the whole cave sequence up through the ending was definitely the best part of the episode. And I also really like how he gets to tell his tragic backstory of on his planet, the punishment is killing your family. Like, what the hell?
Horrible.
And he had 2 wives. They both get killed, but he saves the daughter. I love the twist with the necklace he's wearing. You know, it turns into the key. And how about, you know, Odo, he doesn't know his species, but now he has a name for it at least, you know, the changeling. And she's like, oh, are you really a changeling? I guess I am, you know. That's a nice character progression, and I guess that's his species name, changeling?
Well, changeling is when you change into something, isn't it? I don't think it's the name of his species.
Well, I mean, the guy said it like that was what they called the species, though.
Maybe, I don't know, but it almost got me a little bit where he put the necklace around his neck. I'm like, oh, this is a really nice moment, but I just wish, like the Tosk episode, I just wish we had some nicer moments in the beginning to have even better payoff. To where at the end of Tosk, I was like, oh shit, but this one, like all that stuff, he was a little more annoying.
It didn't feel as earned emotionally.
Yeah.
Even though it was nice. You've talked before about like the highlight reel of the mid to bad episode. Just give us those moments. Like that ending was that moment where I will remember this episode for that moment, but I would struggle to watch this one again. I mean, it was putting me out.
Yeah.
You want to do patron takes? Anything else?
Yeah, I almost called it before we started watching that Odo origin story. I mean, I'm glad it wasn't just a full-on, or here's his people, here they are, just one little step closer. Just a nice little nugget of where he could possibly come from. I mean, now he's got this key cousin thing. I'm glad it didn't fully expose. We're just little breadcrumbs. We got 7 seasons to go here. I doubt they knew that in this episode of season 1, but I'm glad the restraints. I appreciate the restraints.
And my last note, a little bit of an elevation to Winrick Colby. Great direction, as always.
Some good shots here, too, when they're in that... the shot of the purple hue and the ship and the other ship comes in. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, a number of good shots.
All right, well, Phil Ken 7 says, your Odo lore order is kind of here. Then Heather replying to him, this is really difficult to say 5 times fast. Your Odo lore order is kind of here. Your Odo lore, yeah, I'll give up. Just a little bit.
The lore says it's weird AF. The guys released a reaction to The Changeling the other day with no knowledge of this potential Odo lore in this episode. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Over on the Patreon, a Bridge Crew movie request was The Changeling with George C. Scott. Great movie. Go watch that reaction if you haven't. So that was a funny coincidence, especially with the timing. Stephen Linden, question for you guys. At what point in the show, if at all, are you hoping the mystery of Odo's origins will be revealed? Do you want answers, or would you like it to be teased out over the entire series? It was at about this point in Season 1 of TNG that Data's mysterious origin was fully answered in Data lore.
Oh, yeah.
I did have thoughts of Data lore while watching this in terms of getting that backstory so early. Although I would say for Data, yeah, his origin, I guess, was kind of revealed, but it was more about lore, in a sense. So, I don't know. What do you think about that when it comes to Odo?
Yeah, Data lore is kind of talked about in dialogue, like who came first lore. But yeah, I'd keep it a mystery as long as possible. Just keep milking us along, and hopefully when it is revealed, it's this horribly traumatic, emotional moment. But similar to Geordi, seeing him with his eyes, when Q gave him his eyes way too early, it's like, let's earn these moments. Let's take our time here. Let's have some good... Let's have our journey. Let's have our villains of the week. Let's have our bad episodes, our good episodes, and then when those episodes where we have those bad plots, and then we have those great episodes where it's just our characters with no stakes, and then similar to Tapestry, let's bring in those emotional fucking crushers when there were. But I mean, there have been emotional crushers in early seasons, but just take your time. That's my rant.
Yeah, I agree. I don't want answers anytime soon, and when we do get them, I want them to be slow drip and a small piece at a time. I don't want to get to a season 2 or 3 episode where suddenly his entire origin and backstory and species is all revealed at once. I would love it to be slow and methodical, very similar to what they did with Data. Maybe some things with Data were revealed pretty early, but overall, I mean, even to this to season 6 where we are, a lot of him is still being figured out. I mean, just recently in Birthright, the whole dream sequence stuff, So that's how I like it, and if we never get any real specific answers, I would also be happy with that. Just let me experience the character where he is in his life now. But I won't be mad, obviously, unless the answer is really dumb, then I'll be annoyed.
Yeah, it also might be better to not even get it. Nolan says, this always felt like we have to address the mystery we set up with this character, but it's too early to reveal anything episode to me. So it feels very much like it's spinning its wheels a bit. It's fine, it's necessary, but it's also kind of bland. Yeah.
That's fair.
That's exactly.
Cublon says 5 out of 10. You can cut like 50% of the episode and it would still retain its value, like a Borg cube. I like how Quark words things right to not incriminate himself. That is funny. But I 100% agree. I was thinking watching this, at the end, when we got to the ending, I remember thinking, this is like a 15-minute story that they had to stretch out. It was one of those.
Yeah.
And it happens. But it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, just put in the timeline, split, delete. All right, this one, Sep. For me, the episode starts kind of meh, but to be honest, at the end, an easy A, if not S. There are a few episodes in all of Star Trek where I do a complete 180 about a character, but at the end, I was glad about the happy ending for the guest character. Also, Odo for sure is not afraid to adjust his moral compass when new circumstances come up. A very good trait to have. Yeah, that guest character, he was fine. His daughter was terrible, but he was fine. But his scene at the end where he did the fake out a couple times, whether to pick him up. He was good.
Yeah, and I agree that it definitely is a meh episode with a really good ending, so I definitely agree there.
Oh boy, here we go. The buzzword. From Loot and Arsbar. Despite his fascist tendencies, we learn Odo does have a heart. A strength of this series is even in an action-heavy space battle adventure episode. We get a heavy dose of character development. This is the top 3 season 1 episode.
You're saying fascist is a buzzword?
Yeah, just...
Fascist!
Yeah, I just...
Odo must have had a different opinion than him.
I just finished Andor, and I'm just looking at all the Reddits. Like, the Empire is a fascist government, but I'm just so sick of seeing that fucking word.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he runs a tight ship doing his job as a security officer. Fascist!